We vibing with another show. Tell me everybody, can you catch this flow? We're breaking down mental class sentence, so you know who we win. Tony, Dixon, and friends. They tell me that the sky's the limit. Your purpose calling you, baby, you make the difference. Take charge, do you know who you win? Tony, Dixon, and friends. Who we win? Tony, Dixon, and friends. Yeah, yeah. Tony, Dixon, and friends. Tony, Dixon, and friends. Who we win? Tony, Dixon, and friends.
Welcome back to the Tony Dixon and Friends podcast, where our goal is to educate and inspire you to break our mental glass ceilings. My name is Eric McAlpin, and I'm here today with my good friends, Mr. Kelv Bailey.
What's up?
I'm also here with my brother, Mr. Tony Dixon.
What's going on?
But we also want to continue with the conversation that we have with a special guest with us, Mr. Reverend Kelvin Croom.
Doctor, Reverend, I mean, you got so many names, man.
Hey, just call me Coach.
Well, it's a lot of things we call you around Tuscaloosa, and it's royalty. The Croom family is really Tuscaloosa royalty. Now, I just want to pick up. I mean, you've shared so much with us right there, and I don't want to let this moment pass. I understand that your calling as a pastor, that's heavy. That can get heavy at times, and you do so much to pour into others and build them up and lift them up. And, you know, thank you for sharing your story, the highs, the lows, and all of that. And I just want to take the opportunity to tell you thank you for what you do and sharing your story in that way. We're tremendously blessed in just hearing just how you navigate through the difficulties in life right there. That's awesome, and then that's really just helping us out and our listeners and viewers as well with that. And so I didn't want to let that moment pass without acknowledging you. And when I think about just from my experience here in Tuscaloosa, just what you mean to your family, but what you mean to so many others around this community. And it's so rich that we can't even really get into it all. But I just think about being on campus to where that there will be opportunities for athletes to go and whether that speak to schools, local churches, or whatever. And one of the moments that really sticks out in my mind is when I had an opportunity to go to College Hill Baptist Church and speak to the kids there. At College Hill and just all of the things that you're doing. We talk about the Forge and the viewing that we just had where you're poured into local, college students that had an opportunity to do that. And so I just wanted to say a few words, but first to just acknowledge and say thank you because I know so many people pull from you, and it's very important for us to say thank you and acknowledge the load that you carry.
Well, I accept that, and I'm grateful and thank you for that. And thank you for coming to spend time at College Hill. We still there every Sunday, 10:30, try to get out at 11:40. Holy Spirit has other things he has to do after he feeds us and take care of us. He's busy. So we take it and take it to the streets and put into practice what we learned and what we taught and so forth. But it was always a joy. Very blessed to be from Tuscaloosa with the University of Alabama here. I never forget back when I played ball at Alabama, and when school ended, it was a ghost town. I mean, wasn't anything here. Everybody went home for the most part. They had summer school every now and then. And I would be the last one at Bryant Hall waving goodbye to everybody. They were all excited, packing their cars. All I had to do was go over to Hope. Come on, back road. I'd be there in 7 minutes. And my high school buddies, a lot of them were gone off to college, and they didn't come back. They worked during the summertime. So, man, I was sitting there like, what am I going to do? There's nothing to do around here. But things began to gradually change. They started doing interim school and summer school, and it got big. Man, that was exciting because it was boring in Tuscaloosa and all of that. But I'm delighted to be here and being from Tuscaloosa to see this city, how it's grown, and see how it's produced so many strong young people and so forth that's going out, making great strides in life and putting Tuscaloosa on the map. So that's exciting. Very proud to be from Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I think Kelf took me down a path that I was wanting to go down as well. Because we did talk a lot about in the first episode about how much you pour out to others, even you recognize in those times where, hey, I couldn't be fully emotional in my state because I had a charge to keep. I have.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Right.
God to glorify.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So talk to us. I think one of the things as men that most men struggle with is vulnerability, right? And being open and being vulnerable. And I know I've had my issues with that. We spoke on an episode before where Kelf was speaking through, some of the things that he had been withholding that he released to his son, and now his son is seeing a different light. As you speak to those young people and through your experience in times, one, what are those things that fill your cup up? And within that, I would imagine it requires some level of vulnerability for that to happen.
I'm very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh man, I cried in the Ford. I wasn't trying to hold back anything. I wiped my eyes and tears, sniffing and all, because it was very touching. I know I'm a man.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about my manhood and so forth. I teach men it's okay to cry. You can hold that in. That doesn't make you less or greater of a man because you can hold it.
Yeah.
You keep on, you end up stroking.
Right.
So my thing is do what you have to do for you and all. Oh, now I get a phone call from a member last night. I need to pray for her because they've been possibly diagnosed with a terminal illness. And I get those calls and so forth. But my Heavenly Father teaches me that I can pour out to him. I talk to other pastor brothers and sisters, men like you all, I have confidence in and so forth that I can talk to. I'm going on a cruise in a few weeks.
Okay.
I travel up the road. I get a ticket and fly.
Yeah.
I'm making plans to go see Gypsy in New York.
Okay.
Look, man, I travel,
Come on.
Yeah.
Bama decided this year I'm going to go to all the out-of-town games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll make it to the playoffs and I
Yeah.
can follow those. So,
Yeah.
but prior to that, Coach Saban was there. Every December, I knew I was going to be in Atlanta
Yeah.
for the SEC playoffs.
So that was already booked every year.
For those of y'all that don't know what he means, there was a level of dominance at Alabama that we knew every December we were going to be in Atlanta for the SEC championship. Just want to put that plug for those non-Alabama fans out there.
And also, I would make my hotel reservations for the national championship game. Seriously, in a year in advance, I made it. And playing, of course, I had 2 days to cancel it. I would know, if I need to cancel it. But, I have to take care of myself.
Yeah.
I know the enemy will overload me if I allowed him to and all that. But I have to take care of me. Now, I do exercise. You might not can tell that, but I've lost right at 35, 40 pounds here.
Okay.
I have another 20 that I want to lose and so forth. I told him I was going to be on the front of Preacher's Quarterly.
Come on.
And all of that. There's no such magazine.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You told your son he might make it
Might
happen.
help me, and all that. But, it's a joy to have the opportunities and the outlets in this country. And that's why our democracy is so important, that we must maintain that, to travel and go. People who look like me can always just get in the car and go and so forth. But I'm very comfortable and all that. We talk about this nation. It's the only nation I know. And from what I can tell, is the greatest nation on earth. We can't lose that. And so that's why I want us to remember that we all came from Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
we're brothers and sisters. Yeah, we can disagree, but we don't have to do it with violence. You know, we can have our spouts, but we also can make up and come back and be together. And that's all I want, is to be able to fulfill my calling as a minister of the gospel and just live. Eat where I want to eat, go where I want to go, and that type of thing. So just trying to live the life, because I do know that one day it's going to end.
Yeah.
And when it ends, I want to say, what a great ride I had.
So Reverend Croom, I'm listening to what you're saying, but it sounds like you're being intentional. You're being a good finder. You're purposefully finding opportunities to fulfill your own life satisfaction. And I think as a minister of the gospel, and also, our community as a whole, we purposefully find negativity and we gravitate to negativity. But it sounds like you're doing the complete opposite. You look for good stuff and look for times to go celebrate.
Negativity is going to find you.
Yeah.
It's going to find you. So you got to work to find the good stuff.
Yeah.
And it's out there. We got to make sure our minds are not polluted with so much negativity and all. I used to be a news hawk. I would watch news 24/7. And then I realized, you know what? They're not telling the good stories. It's always about something negative.
Yeah.
And then I found out, and I should say, man, maybe that would be nice if they had a way that you could watch the good, positive news from around the country. And there's I'm not trying to advertise, but there's a way you can do that on TV now.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I enjoy. I like to hear the good stories. As I mentioned before, I'm glad I got a glass, but I look at it as being half full versus half empty, and try to see the positives in situations. And that works for me. Might not work for everybody, but that works for me.
Yeah.
When I get my grandkids from school, I want to know, what's the good things you all did today?
Yeah. But I think in life, whatever you go out and hunt, you find.
Oh, you can find it. Yeah.
And I think one of the things, so you talk about me telling my story. I sit around and my wife laughs at me from time to time because I'm just smiling listening to you. My wife says, I smile in my sleep. She says, I smile in my sleep. Because of what you just said, and listening to how you lost your son, that's a moment that you could have collapsed and the bottom could have fell out. But you told the doctor, look in the rearview mirror. Although you lost one, you still have three. That's something to still celebrate, because it could have been all of them. And I think as men, oftentimes it's just good for us to focus on the positive things that are going on in our lives. What kind of got Tony and I hooked up a few years ago when we were doing the football camps at Stillman College. We called ourselves, not knowing, and it's just so revolutionary to hear you talk about it, the positive young men of West Alabama. Because here in Tuscaloosa, you hear the stories of the athletes. This one has gotten pulled over by the police, or this one has gotten caught during, doing drugs or selling drugs, like all the negativity. But what about guys like your son that's giving scholarships? What about guys like Tony, who's allowing 200 and 300 kids to come up to the campus of Stillman College and get exposure to athletes? What about parents that are in the stands with their kids that are playing multiple sports at the same time? And now, as an empty nester, you're going out and still finding ways to have those positive moments with your grandkids, having those positive moments with your kids and yourself.
Well, that's monumental for me. Again, life is precious, and I don't take it for granted. I'm blessed to have my health and strength, and I'm blessed to have 9 grandchildren, and I have 3 children that are living, and then I have my church family. I'm blessed to have my brothers that I played ball with at Alabama and so forth. And so to be able to go out and enjoy that, God allowed me to walk again when a young man, as I alluded to earlier, he didn't walk out the hospital. But I can walk and so forth. I look at the positive things in life and go from there. And there's a lot of negativity, and it will find you. Yes, as I alluded to earlier, I'm vulnerable too. And all. I cry, I hurt. But I am so blessed. And I just thank the Lord for that. And I just want to share that with everybody. You can find joy in every situation and all. You can find that peace. I've never been in a tornado per se where I was inside of the funnel, but researchers say that that is one of the most peaceful places to be in such a violent storm and all that. So when I'm in those storms of life, I realize that I am not alone. Now you're going to get me to take a text here in a minute, but there's a man from Galilee.
Come on.
Yes. And I know Jesus is there with me. And so that's the comfort that I have.
Yeah.
And all that. So I'm good.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the unique things about life.
Yeah.
Because, if you want to take a text, let me tell you, you can take a text. And I am a Baptist deacon, and after you take the text, you know what I'm saying, I get out in front of you, pull out the chair, and we can open up the doors of the church. We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah.
But it's so inspiring because I'm sure now, as a father, your kids are mimicking those same opportunities. Because they're looking at you when they saw, their brother pass away. I'm sure that there's something that pulled them together.
And that bond that they've had always, they work very close. As a matter of fact, my youngest daughter has some events that she had to go to tonight. And so the oldest daughter said, hey, bring me the children and I'll take care of them.
Yeah.
Kevin is preparing to leave at 3 o'clock in the morning, taking a group of kids, as I said, down to Lafayette, Louisiana, and so forth. He babysits the kids and do things like that. And so they work together. But again, I had a good example with my grandparents.
Yeah.
My kids had a good example with my parents. And now I'm creating examples so that their children can see. We learn from the best.
Yeah.
And that was a family tradition coming up, both paternal and maternal sides of my family and all. So then, too, to have my mom and dad. My mom would sit at practice when Sylvester was at Tuscaloosa Junior High playing football. When I was at Tuscaloosa Junior High, she would get off from work, sit at practice 2 and 3 hours waiting on us to pick us up and so forth. And then Dad was coaching at Riverside and so forth in high school. We would go over there. So we've had the exposure. We were one of the first families to help integrate Morrison's cafeteria that was down on the Strip and all of that.
Yeah.
We were the first teens in Tuscaloosa County to be put in Tuscaloosa News for going hunting with their father. We had pictures and all that. So we had a lot of firsts that we did. My parents just wanted us to have the experiences that a child should have growing up. And they made sure they sacrificed and made sure. So we continue to do that and all.
So I'm not going to take a text, but I want to give like a biblical example. Oftentimes in baptism represents a new start. You go down and you come up a different person. Some people may be listening to us right now and watching us right now may not have the family support yesterday. But speak to those and give them challenges and ways on how they can start where they are today and build those family bonds or build those family traditions and build the vulnerable opportunities to become a better person and to break some of those mental glass ceilings.
Well, one of the first things you have to do is look in the mirror and be in love with the person you see. Once you love that person, you will do whatever you have to do to make sure that person has the best that life has to offer. And I would encourage anybody right now to understand that every day we get a new beginning. It's called 24 hours, you start a new day. And that's a beginning. Lord, what I did yesterday, if it's not in your will, forgive me. I would do better this day. Now, in traveling, sometimes you don't get but so far, but mark that distance that you make, and then the next day you go a little further, and you go a little further, and before you know it, little boy picking up pennies. He didn't have but one initially. The next day he found 2 or 3. Finally he got 20 or 30. Next thing you know, he had enough to have $1 to buy an ice cream cone. Set your goals. Go for it. Don't let nothing keep you from realizing your goal. But understand, you can't do it by yourself. There's a man from Galilee named Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
Father, I stretch my hand to thee. No other help I know. Thou withdraw thyself from me. Lord, where shall I go? Go to him, and he'll make a way somehow.
But Reverend Croom, I try to do what you just told me to do, but people lie on me. They talk about me. Some people don't want to listen to me, and I constantly find myself getting hurt. And how can I go to a man that I've never seen?
Well, come find me, and I'll show you the way. I'll show you the way. Just be patient. Sometimes it can happen overnight. A lot of time it's a gradual process. Start somewhere. Take one brick, add another one, keep adding. Eventually you'll build a whole house, brick by brick. But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Fall down, get back up. Keep trying. But find somebody that's positive. Just because the building has a cross on it don't mean a church. Because there are some of those places that Jesus don't even go to.
Yeah.
So you want to find one where he goes.
Yeah.
And meet him there.
Yeah.
And if you can't find him, call me. I'll show you where he is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think with this, I think as we decide to continue to be positive, as you decide to continue to celebrate life, it does so much good for you. But I also think it strengthens others that are around you that are watching you. Because my old pastor, Reverend W.J. Long, you know who he is.
Oh, yes, I do.
He oftentimes used to tell us that your life is the only Bible that some people read. And the good that you do is shining for other people.
That is so true. And it goes back to what I said earlier. Let your light so shine before others that they may see your good works and glorify the Father which is in heaven. Somebody's always watching.
Yeah.
It ain't just God.
Somebody. So,
Man.
Reverend Croom, thank you so much for being here with us
Man.
today.
Thank you all for this opportunity, and God bless each one of you, and you all continue the good work.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This has been another episode of the Tony Dixon and Friends podcast. Continue to tune in and watch so that you can be strengthened and encouraged to go out and break those mental glass ceilings. I'm Eric McAlpin with Kelf Bailey, Tony Dixon, and our special guest, Reverend Kelvin Croom. Thank y'all so much.
Sir.